So in business, you will succeed in direct proportion to your level of patience, as well as your willingness to pay the price, do the hard work, pay the price for what things cost, even if that price is higher than for a lower quality replacement that doesn't get the job done. Because in a lot of cases you're gonna find a shortcut, but the shortcut is gonna be completely worthless because it doesn't actually get the results, it doesn't actually get the job done. So in that sense, business is really gonna be a test of patience, and the more patient you are, the more willing you are to think long term. Like Jeff Bezos said about Amazon, that we think long term, 3 7 years out. In fact, in one particular interview that I listened to a long time ago, Jeff Bezos was actually saying, I'm not working on the stuff that, on the initiatives that are affecting our results today. Like the stuff that I'm working on today is literally stuff that's gonna affect not this quarter, not next quarter, but 3.5 years out, which was mind blowing. I was like, so he's essentially saying, I almost have nothing to do with Amazon's results this quarter. And that's surprising. Like he's telling, whether that was a journalist or whatever, he's essentially saying Amazon's results this quarter have more or less nothing to do with me, or at least nothing to do with what I'm doing. like like I could be smoking pot or whatever, and these are Amazon results this quarter. I got no hand in that. And he's saying, not only is that the case, but Amazon's results next quarter have nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. So much so, he's essentially saying Amazon's results next year have nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. He's saying, in a sense, the next 2 years of Amazon's results have got nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now affects Amazon's results in the quarter 3.5 years from now. And that was just mind blowing. I mean, I was really surprised. And it showed me that he thinks on a much longer time frame. And yet the typical business person or the typical side hustler, we're all trying to make a buck today, right now. And that's a bit of a problem. So the reason why it takes a side hustle a long time to become a success is simply because business is that kind of game that Jeff Bezos figured out. If you are unwilling to think long term, you are most likely not going to cut it in the game of business. There are some other games that are like that. War, if you are a military general, if you are unwilling to think long into the future, you're unlikely to be a good general. If you are a doctor, a medical doctor in charge of treating patients and in charge of getting people in good health, if you are unable to think far out, you're unlikely to be a really good doctor, because the decisions that are made today don't affect just today. In fact, in some cases, they might not have any discernible effect right now. But whether it's choosing to eat a certain diet, whether it's choosing to adopt a certain lifestyle, whether it's deciding one particular type of drug or one particular type of treatment for a condition, some of these things have results, like where results appear like 5 years into the future. And then if there was a mistake made, the mistake was not actually made today, it was made 5 years ago. Like, oh, that treatment that doctor gave you was the wrong thing. It's what's messing you up now. He gave that stuff to you 5 years ago, but that stuff was wrong for you and it's messing you up right now. and now you're in a big problem. So there are all kinds of cases where if you want to be very successful, you really have to be long-term oriented. You really have to think in terms of kind of like long-term. The military for sure stands out like that. Just because if a war breaks out today, it's not the guy that's willing to fight the hardest today that's going to win. It's if you're in war, and you're fighting different generals, pitting their armies. It's literally just the army that spent the last 10 years preparing the best. That army is most likely going to win because uh, they've been training, they've built themselves up, they've prepared themselves literally to win, and everybody else is ill prepared, doesn't have the resources, doesn't have the military, doesn't have the equipment. They're just gonna get defeated, right? So business is like that. You really have to think long term, and that's why I encourage people that might be watching this. If you are trying to build a product-based side hustle, it's going to succeed in direct proportion to how patient you are and how willing you are to pay the price long term that it takes and not settle for a cheap substitute. The price is gonna be something you pay in time and hard work. You gotta be willing to work super hard. And what I have said and what I've discovered is that it's literally going to be like a 24-month journey. That's the roadmap that I talk about in my videos and in my program, the Product Side Hustle League. Be prepared to put in 24 months of hard work, day in, day out, doing the work that it takes to create a great product and sell it, and build an actual brand around it and build something that will set you financially independent for life. So that's all I had for today. If you need some extra resources to help you with your side hustle journey, check out some of my free resources. The links will be in the